Who says you can't insert your own personal design style into your staging job, right? Well, yeah, it typically doesn't happen as much. That's why I absolutely love this post that Angeline Kelly shared, one of her favorite stages. And she gave me a little bit of background on it because, of course, I said, wow, I want to share this. And she said, of course, you can share the sellers in this home. I'm going to show you all the photos. You won't believe it. A lot of it's boho style, which I kind of love. It's really warm and texturized. Anyway, the sellers started flipping homes and she works with them. So this is kind of a flip project. On the staging project, it sold the first week. She After she kind of did that for them, they have her come in, of course, on every single one of their projects. Very smart home flippers. Anyway, so she actually does the resale renovation design ahead of times, where she is picking out the paint, the flooring, the countertops, and that way these house flippers who have the money and the kind of the risk and means, and a lot of times home flippers are more construction and they don't necessarily know the design side or what's hot or what resale renovations will really work in that home. Stagers do. We live and breathe this stuff. So now she does all those design choices and then she goes in and stages the home. This particular home I'm going to show you had multiple offers the very first day on the market. And it's one of the few projects she's done that she let her preferred style really show through. I'll let you guess what you think style is. Most of the time she does transitional, which of course attracts the majority of buyers, and most stagers know this. But this home style had so much unique appeal that she had several text messages from agents who showed it that just loved that it just looked different. And sometimes that can be your differentiating factor as a stager. If all stager jobs start looking, white or gray or beige, then you don't look that much different than the stager next door. And one of the key tips I teach people in the marketing section of my training is you do want to brand and be a little bit different. If nothing else, at least a little signature. Have some signature pieces. When someone walks in, it's like, wow, and not weird signature, classic, good signature. So if you've got a signature piece and you got it at Walmart, no, it's not signature. Restoration Hardware, somewhere high level. That's the classic that can define your style. And I love, she said, it's such a privilege to do what she loves and sell these homes. So let's get to these photos. You're going to love this home. No surprise it got multiple offers, sold amazingly. It is a pretty simply done home, but she even picked paint colors that were a little unique, a little olive green. This looks like it's Benjamin Moore or the Sherwin-Williams color of the year, potentially. I love the details of the way she styled the vignettes. This is how we get tips and learn from one another. That's why these posts, so many of them are in Stagers Connect, and I love to share them because this is how we kind of learn. And everybody styles a little differently, but I love, she used the fake fruit. We have a vendor that actually sells this sort of stuff. It's kind of fun. The cookbook. Here she styled the little entryway. And this home has kind of its historical appeal. And this is probably a great way. This is how you probably style a home. It's got the wood moldings. You can see it's got a little history to it. And I love that she took these hooks, the cute little hat, and she really added the emotional, I call these emotional connection points. That's the final phase when one of the HSR stagers goes into a space, 8 steps in each room. The final step is really connecting those emotions. And we do that through these little details, which she captured beautifully. But you can see, the mirror is kind of vintage. She went kind of old style. Here's the bathroom. Let's get to the heart of this home here. And she completely set the table. And I know most people would think, whoa, she just like put everything and the kitchen sink on this table. But how amazing is it? It looks fantastic, actually. Very smartly done, going with a textured kind of boho kind of color palette and lots of greenery. Can never go wrong with that. And it just looks great. She put a lot of work into that, and she's just getting her close-ups. They're beautiful. Love how she styled and staged. Look at the pillows on this sectional, and she even did the tray with the book and the coffee table. And a lot of times we don't do these. When I first taught staging, back in 2006 when I started staging training, we did this a lot because nobody knew what staging was, and it's kind of merchandising the space, those emotional connection points. And now a lot of stagers don't do it, and that's probably good because in the right environment, it looks good, but there's so many wrong environments that it would look contrived and not very good. But this case, she did it absolutely in the right environment. I think it looks great. And again, look at the moldings on those windows. Here's another, just the nook. Love that artwork. And she kind of stuck to her color palette. Staged it really simply, but again, look at the pillows are so fun. For this kind of historical home, it looks great. She picked the right kind of perfect paint colors. She changed it up, which you can do. In historical homes, you can go more bold in that paint. You know, have fun with it. People almost kind of expect that because it kind of offsets with the moldings and it adds personality to each space. And I know it feels weird that I'm telling you that about staging, but look at the staging job. I mean, it's no surprise that it sold so quickly. Look at this bedroom, how beautiful. And I love, you know, obviously I always say, you know, brown is kind of this new trending. Hopefully you watched my trends workshop. I do it every year because you got to stay on top of these, but it's not the old beige brown of the Tuscan trend that we had in the early 2000s. It's a cognac brown, which she actually has perfectly here and in a lot of the furniture and leather. And it helps to tie in and draw the eye to the architectural elements of the space, which are those fantastic moldings and windows. Here she had fun with this little girl's bedroom. And of course, what little girl wouldn't want to love that? Here's a guest room. She went a little kind of glam and had fun. And here's the bathroom where, again, she put in a lot of stuff. I mean, most of us wouldn't, but it actually makes it feel warm and cozy. And a lot of times I see staged bathrooms and they don't feel that way. So I love how she was true to the style that she put into this home and she didn't deviate from it. And so it all came together beautifully in these after photos. Here's another studio. Wow, this was a really big job that she did. This is a big house flip, but she didn't miss a detail down to the tic-tac-toe board on the nook table. Here she kept to her color schemes and a lot of texture. I love the baskets on the walls. I mean, that's another great way to add texture to a space. Of course, look at the greenery. And we're back to the beginning. What a fun staging job. No surprise it was one of her favorites. Apple Blossom staging and design. Really well done. And I love that she shared her own kind of aesthetic. And a lot of times as stagers, we don't get to put our aesthetic into the staging jobs. We do in our design jobs. But in this case, she did, and it really shined. So I want to challenge you, if you are, take a chance of a stager, maybe try something new and see what happens. And I'll see you in the next video.